Hey folks, Steve Sanson, Veterans in Politics International. And I'm out here today at the Regional Justice Center that houses the Las Vegas Justice of the Peace. And we're just doing a little court observer today. And I just wanted to explain to you what I found out in 3 Justice of the Peace courtrooms. Now, if anybody that doesn't know anything about veterans in politics, what we do is we expose political corruption, we champion legislation for veterans' rights, and we go ahead and inform the public of candidates running for elected seats. So we have a big election next year in 2026, and we always do court observing, but we took a break since the COVID issue, but we're back at it again. And we're going to be back at it full force, and I'm going to report it on a weekly basis. But let me tell you what we found out. So we went to 3 Justice of the Peace courtrooms. The first Justice of the Peace courtroom is Judge Amy Wilson. Now, Judge Wilson, we have endorsed, we have supported, we love her. I think she is an absolutely outstanding jurist. But you know something? Your deputy marshal is your first line of defense. Your deputy marshal is the person that greets people at the door. You know, it's like having a house, and the first place you walk into is what's going to express the person you are. So the deputy marshal is the first person that any litigant sees, any marshal sees, any jurist sees. It's just the first person everybody sees when they walk into a courtroom. So we walked into the courtroom, and the deputy marshal, his name is M. Perez, in Amy Wilson's courtroom. This guy has an attitude, okay? For one, he has an attitude, he's very rude, he's condescending, he does not know how to treat people. Now, we're not criminals. Not everybody that walks into a courtroom is a criminal, okay? And the last time I heard, you're innocent until proven guilty. So this deputy marshal, M. Perez, has a chip on his shoulder. First, he was trying to deny us access, and then when we found, and anyways, let me just talk about denying access. It's our constitutional right to be in a courtroom and court observe our public elected officials, which are judges. It's our constitutional right to do that, as long as we're not a party to the case and the case is not sealed. Okay, so I just want to put that down. So anyway, we walked into the courtroom. He finally sat down. He tried to put us all the way in the back, and that was fine because I like to see the whole entire courtroom from the rear. I have no problems with that. But he tried to push us in the corner so our viewers blocked so we couldn't see. But I told him that we weren't going to do that, okay? Because we wanted to be able to see the judge, and we want to be able to see everybody. Being a court observer, you have to be able to see everybody, and you have to be able to hear what the judge is saying. You have to be hearing what the litigant's saying. Court observers also observe the deputy marshals as well. So anyways, I went to this deputy marshal at the end while I was leaving, very polite, M. Perez, and I spoke to him. I said, look here, I don't know if you understand how court observers work. And right away, he had an attitude with me. What are you trying to lecture me? What are you trying to do? Get to the point. I'm like, this guy is not a people person, okay? He needs to temper his attitude down. He's not a people person. And Judge Amy Wilson, if you're listening to this, please have a talk with your deputy marshal. Deputy marshals that are in the courtroom work directly for the judges. Although, in the past, I have filed complaints, IA complaints against deputy marshals, and a couple of them were reprimanded big time. So I just want to put it out there. It's not a threat. I just wanted to tell these deputy marshals, be careful. Understand what court observers do, and don't be an asshole to people, okay? That's what I want to put out there. So secondly, we leave out of Amy Wilson's courtroom, and we walk into Kristal Bradford's courtroom. Kristal, she's doing a good job. She was asking everybody, are you a veteran? That's what they're supposed to do, according to the Nevada revised statute. You're supposed to ask all defendants if you're a veteran. A lot of judges are not doing it. I don't know why. Maybe they don't know, but they're supposed to. Kudos to you, Kristal Bradford, Judge Bradford, for doing that. Now, This deputy marshal, for one, he didn't have a name tag. Okay, he's supposed to have a name tag. He did not have a name tag. Okay, we're sitting in the middle row. There was nobody there. There is about, I don't know, enough space to sit at least 50 people. He's saying, oh, that is for law enforcement only. I'm like, where is the law enforcement? There is no law enforcement. One, he tried to kick us out. He said, why don't you leave and go to another courtroom and come back because we don't have room. I'm like, what are you kidding me? You have enough room right in the middle of this courtroom right here to accommodate about 50 people. Anyways, I told him that we weren't moving. So he had a little attitude and he left. And then he came back and then there was room in the back. And he said, could you go to the back? So we went in the back and that was fun. But I don't understand these deputy marshals. I don't think that they understand who runs the courtroom. Deputy marshals, the judge runs the courtroom, not you. You're just extension of the judge. That's all you are. So we left out of there, okay? And we went to, guess who? Nancy Bernstein courtroom, Judge Bernstein. Now, Judge Bernstein was great on the bench as far as what we saw. She was absolutely terrific. Her deputy marshal, outstanding. We went in there, we identified ourselves, we said we're court observers. He says, okay, go to the rear, and we went in the rear, not a problem. That was the most professional deputy marshal out of the three. This guy had a name badge, he was professional, he wasn't condescending, he wasn't rude, he didn't have a chip on his shoulder, he looked like he enjoyed his job. So, folks, please go out there and court observe. You have to do it because this is how we keep checks and balances, and this is how we make sure that we educate ourselves on the judges and what's going on in our courtroom. Until next time, Steve Sanson, President of Veterans in Politics.